Hello, Buckeye Nation. This week, I'm hoping to bring you two shows. One today to recap that unexpectedly nerve-wracking game against Maryland, and another later in the week to preview the game. Before we jump into that though, we are officially heading into the last game of the regular season. I want everyone to pause and take a moment and just sit and enjoy the feeling of being 11-0. Now, I know that Maryland game had us all in a tizzy and gave us more to be nervous about going into this weekend. But let's just appreciate the fact that so far, the Buckeyes have done what they needed to do to get to this point in the season where they are still playing for it all. Unlike a lot of teams who have already had their hopes and dreams crushed earlier in the season. All right, moment over. Let's dig into the Maryland game after the intro. Welcome to Buckeye Football Fangirl, and thank you so much for watching and giving me your valuable time and attention. If this is your first time here, my name is Lisa, and I'm the gal behind this channel. If you are a Buckeye fangirl or fan guy and love these Buckeyes like I do, please like this video and subscribe for more videos where I rave about Ohio State and get pumped up for their next game. Now, you might notice I'm filming in a different location this week. Yep, Buckeye Football Fangirl is coming to you from none other than my childhood bedroom. I was born and raised in Northeast Ohio, and I returned back to my roots for Thanksgiving and to soak up a little family time. Oh, and I'll be going to the freaking game on Saturday. I'm so excited about that, but all that is going to have to wait until my next show, as this show is supposed to be about that Maryland win. And that was another close game and another one that leaves us feeling kind of worried. I have a couple quick thoughts about the win, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are after that game we saw on Saturday. Go ahead, drop me a comment below with your take on what we saw play out. So I'm going to start by giving a hats off to Maryland. That was the first offense that we've seen this season so far that could pass effectively and consistently on the Buckeyes. And all credit goes to Taulia and his teammates and the fight which they brought to the game. Taulia had to rally back from an injury, and he looked like he was feeling much more like himself versus their previous game against Penn State. It was a new challenge that our defense had to rise up to, and they definitely got burned and exposed several times during the game. That did cause my stomach to tie itself all up into knots, which felt all too familiar. However, thankfully, they made the stops that they needed to make when the game was on the line. And for that, I am beyond happy. We've said this several times already this season, but I'm not confident that last year's defense could have done that. Another area of worry and stress during the game for me was the run game. It seemed to me that TreVeyon was playing hurt. Other than the first drive where he popped off for that quick touchdown score, he just didn't look like he was playing like himself. In my opinion, both him and Miyan have left their heart and souls on the field so far. Unfortunately, the same nagging injuries keep rearing their nasty heads, and hence, we saw Tre trying to play while not 100%, and he ended up in a walking boot again on the sideline. Despite all the stress the run game injuries have caused us, there was one glimmer of good that came from this past game, and that was seeing Dallan Hayden once again crush it on the field. Thankfully, when he came in to relieve Tre, he completely changed the tone of the run game. As the Chosen One tweeted, Hayden is literally a lifesaver and problem solver. Personally, I've liked everything that I've seen from him on the field. However, I really appreciate this tweet from Go Buckeyes. PSA to Buckeye Nation: we can build up Dallan Hayden without tearing down TreVeyon Henderson. He has been through a ton of injuries all season. He obviously doesn't look healthy. I think there's definitely space to both appreciate what Tre and Miyan have done for the team so far, and to also appreciate everything Hayden is showing us that he can do on the field. Let's talk about one more thing that I really liked seeing, and it was something that didn't come until the end of the game. It happened during those last two plays from Maryland, where Zach Harrison absolutely blew it up. It was like Zach was saying, all right, I've had enough of this. We're done here. That's the tone that I hope the Buckeyes set at the beginning of the game this weekend, instead of waiting until the final minutes. The Buckeyes are now officially out of tune-up games, and we'll soon see if this team can hold it down against better competition when everything really is on the line. I'm curious, what worries you the most now that we're in the week of the game, heading into our last regular season game? Go ahead, drop me a comment below with your thoughts. As nervous as the Maryland game made me, I wholeheartedly believe that the tone on the field will be night and day different from what we saw from the Buckeyes against Maryland. As my dad always used to tell me, you can throw the records away on the day of the game because anything can happen. Coach White tweeted something similar with this after we all watched TTUN struggle last weekend against Illinois. Take nothing out of this game. The tone will be different next week. It's going to be a wild ride this Saturday. Go ahead, buckle up and get ready. And I'll see you all again a little later this week. OH.
Go Buckeye!